Today's episode is sponsored by the Dark Room. What's up? Yeah, a holiday video 2 months late, or 10 months early, whatever. You've probably moved on, but just like your ex, I'm gonna pull you back in and ruin your life. An Ektachrome Christmas. There are some that want this series to die, and the rest, well, they also want it to die, but it perseveres. I started this series back in 2018 because Kodak Ektachrome had just been, I guess, re-released. And it was a good way to keep me off the streets and out of trouble. Year after year, I keep this series alive, where I force myself to shoot only Ektachrome for a month, and the fine people on YouTube get to watch me suffer through it. I never really looked forward to shooting it, and, Ektachrome was never really my favorite, probably because it's got that blue-purple overwash that's pretty reminiscent of the worst half of a purple nurple. And my sentiments never really changed until last year when I started experimenting with the stock a little bit, experimenting with warming filters, both shooting and scanning. With that, I was able to get something that I thought looked okay. I mean, let's be honest, if your eyes don't bleed when you look at my work, I might have done something right. Oh man. What the hell happened there? Another year of the gift that keeps on giving. Ektachrome Christmas 7. I can't believe we've done 7 of them. I don't know why we've done 7 of them. New year of Ektachrome Christmas means a new diffusion filter on my lens, which you should probably be pretty thankful for, because all these face wrinkles are starting to look like a SpongeBob close-up. A lot has changed in a year. I was pretty reluctant, I think, to shoot Ektachrome last time, and I was kind of just trying to play with it a little bit and see what I can get. It's gonna be a crazy Ektachrome Christmas this year. I've got a lot to do. I hope this shit fucking heals. It's my money maker. Not that it really makes me that much money. I just got home from Thanksgiving, and in 2 days I'm boarding a flight to Germany. It's my mom's 70th birthday, and my brother, her, and I are going to Germany to, see the Christmas markets. After we get back from Germany, I have less than 24 hours to hop in a rental car and drive across the United States, going to Monica's home for Christmas this year. I guess she looked into it. It's not super easy to fly with dogs, especially like 40-pound little hippopotamus dogs like Baxter. Got a lot to do. Probably should stop wasting time talking to the camera. So yeah, now in, steamy, passionate love with Ektachrome, I decided to stress test the fuck out of it this year, and do that I did. I shot about 18 rolls of the stuff in 1 month. So yeah, I have no more money and probably will die without a cent to my name. Around the apartment, things were really starting to feel like the holidays. It was going to be yet another year where we didn't put up decorations because we're going to be gone a lot. Whatever, as long as there were dry kibbles in his bowl, a couch to sleep on. Baxter didn't give much of a shit, except, in emergency situations. It was a tough decision deciding which camera to bring along to Germany. Actually, no, it wasn't. What am I talking about? That was stupid what I just said. I brought the Leica M6 in beautiful titanium because it's a symbol of strength, power, and fertility. All right, successfully pulled an all-nighter to finish up all the work I had to do. Pretty short-lived here in this apartment because I'm not gonna be here for too much of December. It is 3:31 in the morning. It's gonna be a long day.
Go be cute.
He doesn't want to be cute, he just wants to show me his ass. With a brick of Ektachrome loaded in my bag, ready to make some poor TSA agent quit their job today, I headed down to LAX for a quick layover, but I was immediately reminded of the ale system. Not beer, this time. Let's get the hell out of here. But instead, always load Ektachrome. Look at this fog, that's insane. I kind of wish I had Ektachrome loaded up right now, it'd look fucking cool. That was kind of an unexpected wrench in the system. It is very foggy and visibility is kind of low. It's definitely not ideal for riding a motorcycle. I can't remember if I said already. Oh god, I hate these California gas pumps. I'm flying up to SFO this morning and then catching a flight from SFO to Frankfurt, Germany for my mom's 70th birthday. She wanted to see all the Christmas markets. And so if you're watching this and you're thinking of leaving a comment, leave a comment that says, happy birthday, Gail. She's earned it. Putting up with me and my brother. Gotta get to LAX though, is the problem. The flight leaves at 6. It is about 4 in the morning right now. Oh man. I mean, I don't exactly love a challenge first thing in the morning, especially when I haven't slept in like almost 24 hours. I've ridden in worse. It was just cold. Let's cover the bike and catch a flight. After a very short 45-minute flight up to San Francisco, my hometown, I convened with my mom and my brother for a ritualistic beer to bless our billion-hour international flight to Germany. Anyway, while my mom was up in first class looking down on us broke, dirty peasants in coach, I drugged myself up with enough tranquilizer to take down a bull elephant so I could finally get some sleep. After a quick carjacking, we had our vehicle and hopped on the Autobahn and then sped up north for my once-in-a-lifetime pilgrimage to a photography holy site that I'm sure that my brother and mom were also very excited about. So yeah, they dropped my ass off to go do whatever nerdy shit I was gonna do at the Leica headquarters. Turns out I was gonna do quite a bit, thanks to Liam, who was incredibly generous with his time to show me around the campus and even some secret back rooms. But listen, kitten, Daddy has to take care of business first. Leica offers a service where you can get the top plate of your camera engraved right there on site. While I originally thought a bottle of Flaming Hot Mountain Dew would be symbolic in a powerful way, I eventually elected to get the standard Leica script to class up my M6 a little bit. So I dropped it off for its, cattle branding, and just so happened to run into YouTube royalty at the same time. Matt Osborne, Mr. Leica, was there for engraving just like me, so we grabbed a coffee on site and conversed about cameras and, of course, the luxurious action-packed YouTube rockstar lifestyle. Anyway, it was time to see some cool stuff like this Leica branded bazooka and this M6 built for Shaq. After crawling through some vent systems, we gained access to a secret Leica storage back room for a quick look around. Some of these cameras worth upwards of like 900,000 euros, which for insurance reasons, I probably shouldn't have been within 100 feet of. Outside it started to snow, and it was pretty magical. As a Californian who's never had a snowy Christmas before, finding it here at the Leica Wetzlar headquarters was a moment for sure. And I'll be honest, Liam took some of the best photos I've ever seen of myself. Anyway, that was that. I got my M6 back and was on my way. I want to give a huge thanks to not only Liam, but also Katerina and Anton for welcoming me in and showing me around, but also my boy Kevin, aka K-Fick, for getting us hooked up in the first place. None of this would have been possible without them. But enough sentimental shit. There's still like 6 hours of this video left, so let's keep it moving. It was time to open up a fat can of whoop ass on my first roll of Ektachrome. With my M6 totally having been violated with lasers, I sat down in the cold rain.
That is cold.
I sat down in the warm Leica cafe with the best chai latte I've ever had in my life, and I loaded up the M6 with Kodak's most expensive film in a move that my financial advisor calls irresponsible. I'm gonna quit. Anyway, just like being picked up from school for puking in my locker again, my mom came to get me and we headed further into Wetzlar to see the Christmas market. 200 hours later, and I finally knocked out my first shot. And it's not too bad. But wait, isn't Ektachrome a slow-ass film stock? How are you able to get anything at night? Good question that you probably didn't ask, my naive friend. To get this 100 ISO Ektachrome out of the gutter per se, I decided to push this roll 2 stops to 400 ISO. It's something that I've been playing around with to varying degrees of success, and I figured I'd do it here with this roll because, I don't know, I assumed we weren't going to see any sunlight the entire time we were over there. Pushing slide film seems like a bad idea, right? Like the developing chemicals would just ignite the film after a while or something, and maybe they did, but these photos actually still turned out, you know, in the loosest form of that phrase. I'll get into it later. So now an artificially 400 ISO film stock. I also paired it nicely with my Voigtlander 35mm 1.2 lens for a little bit of extra speed. Yes, I brought a Voigtlander lens to the Leica Wetzlar headquarters. Let's not make a big thing out of it. Anyway, this 400 ISO and lens combo kinda enabled me to shoot handheld at night, even with a dense brown filter over the lens, cutting about another 1.5 stops of light. That morning, we hit the road early to Nuremberg. We'd be on the road a lot that day, actually, to squeeze in a quick visit to my gallery. Of course, it also meant a chance to visit one of the biggest Christmas markets in Germany, maybe even Europe, maybe even the universe. I really couldn't say for sure. Anyway, yeah, the castle was still there from my last visit, but also still there was my unquenchable thirst for beer. Now with Fun Jason activated, we headed into the gallery to see some of my work. It was actually really cool to have my family, you know, see it in person, even if my brother still thinks I'm an unemployed burden on society.
I was at that one.
Huge thank you to everyone who came to visit the gallery while it was running. It was incredible seeing all the notes you all left in the guest book there. Most of the notes were about chugging Mountain Dew and toilets, which the two aren't necessarily unlinked, but I appreciate them nonetheless. You can view all the pages from this guest book over on my Substack. At beer lunch with the gang, Andrew and Berto gave me a roll of Natura 1600 for my journeys ahead, which was incredibly kind of them. Unfortunately, I did have to throw it away because this is an Ektachrome only video.
Who's got the ticket?
I thought you did. Anyway, we still had a couple hours drive ahead of us down to Stuttgart, and yeah, things were already going really well with my family in the car.
Called me a dipshit. And I'll do it again.
We were in Stuttgart to see some car stuff. It's the world headquarters for Porsche, or I guess Porsche, but I kind of refuse to call it that. Just be glad I'm not calling it Porsche.
Turbo, more like turbo.
My brother Matt is actually a tech at Porsche and knows damn near everything about them. So if you're ever going through your midlife crisis, I guess talk to him.
The lime green accents.
If it's lime green like that, it's a hybrid.
Oh, really?
This is a hybrid.
The Porsche Museum was actually pretty cool, I won't lie. There wasn't a lot of photography opportunity, I would say, but it was cool to see some, you know, super rare cars. The caveman Porsche.
They even had Sally, the character from Cars. And here's a photo of Matt staring at her ass because he thinks she's hot. Like any car my brother works on, I did break down and yeah, shoot some photos, I guess. The stereotypical car photos, nothing portfolio or anything. Just the usual detail shots that I guess everyone has done 1,000 times over, just this time on Ektachrome, which was kind of cool. I did finish my first roll there and loaded up the next one. Some leftover flick film Ektachrome. This first roll wasn't really my best work. Here's sort of a contact sheet of the entire roll, though I don't know if you can ever really do a contact sheet with positive film. Anyway, as you can see, all these shots are super spray tan orange to the point where, yeah, it was a huge pain in the grundle to color correct. I think this kind of happened for two reasons. It was just kind of a combination effect. The two-stop push on the Ektachrome paired with the warm orange-brown filter really just pushed the red layer of the emulsion to the top. It's not really a look I'll ever do again, to be honest, except for, you know, the next 7 rolls or whatever. It was an experiment that completely went sideways, but how do you learn if you don't try? Of the 36 exposures, I got like 12 or so keepers and no shots for the portfolio. It was my first roll, you know, the warm-up roll. Not that I really improved much from here on out, but whatever. Let's go ahead and take a moment and hear from today's sponsor, The Darkroom. Do you shoot a lot of film? Me too. In fact, I have mountains of shot film to develop that is just sitting around on my desk. Luckily for us, there's an answer. Look no further than The Darkroom, a lab that has been in the game of developing film for over 40 years. It's the only lab that I can personally trust to get my film done on time, all the time. In fact, I use them to develop all the film featured in this here video. I personally recommend The Darkroom to all my friends getting started in film photography as well because of their wide selection of possibilities. Getting your work developed through The Darkroom has never been easier, especially if you're like me and always in a rush. I just fill out the online Darkroom form, write my order number down, drop my rolls in the free mailer that they send you, seal it up and toss it in my nearest mailbox. The rest is pretty much taken care of until your negatives return to your mailbox or your scans are uploaded. With a team of professionals using dip and dunk film processors and Naritsu film scanners that use advanced color algorithms, you can have your photos looking beautiful in any size that you want. Super scans do look amazing. Every roll will be handled as if it's the most important work of your own photographic career yet, and that's what I love about The Darkroom. If you have an order of film ready to go, head over to thedarkroom.com to get started or simply download the Darkroom app today.
Jason,
What's up?
do you want to do directions or I can?
Tired of the city life, we decided to head into the country a little bit as we made our way south, and I passed the time like any true struggling artist by filming rain hitting the window because it's a metaphor or something, I guess. And yeah, my family totally respected me for it.
Mommy called me an idiot.
You heard me.
Eventually we arrived in Treeburg and went to grab some liquids. After all, it's 17 o'clock somewhere.
I'll say that again. Don't slop on my camera.
My mom and I actually came out this way many years ago while I was in college, and it was just as rainy, but at least I had more hair at the time. Regardless, it was cool to be back there with my brother who totally respects me.
Can I help you? I'm not taking a picture of you.
Anyway, after lunch, we stumbled up to the waterfall in the rain to get a good look at what nature considers to be a solid stream.
Ooh. It is cold.
Afterwards, we all settled into our hotel room for the next 2 nights, you know, in close proximity to my family.
Cool. I guess I wasn't gonna film out there. You know, whatever.
Made it to Treeburg today. I'm almost through my second roll. Crazy. Gone through like an entire roll today. That's unusual for me.
This shot is actually pretty good. I love the brown tones and the overall mood. It gives off the vibe of a cozy hotel on a rainy day in a small town. Probably because that's literally what it is. Treeburg is located in the Black Forest region of Germany that is known for cuckoo clocks, really ornate ones. So naturally I had to pick up a small one for Monica. Any bigger and I'd get clock blocked at customs probably. Speaking of time, it speeds up quite a bit when you drink something called glue wine.
Tastes like juice.
It's a video camera.
Is it really? That's that DSLR?
This is a video camera. You are on video right now.
With the morning fog rolling in over the hills and some light snowfall, I wrapped up my roll of Ektachrome and loaded another. With the 36 exposure roll, I got 7 or 8 keepers, which means, great, my numbers are going down. But whatever, there's at least 1 or 2 portfolio shots amongst them. That morning, the light was quite nice and the ambiance was perfect, so I went for a struggle walk around town, you know, struggling to cook up some more hot bangers.
A lot less rainy today, so I'm actually able to get out and shoot. The sun even came out for a sec. Sounds really cool.
I like the compositions here for sure, but did the sloppy warm brown look work? I don't know. It might be a bit much. It kind of looks like the Industrial Revolution just hit this town and it's covered in smog or something. There's actually some trippy bounce lighting going on in this shot. The sun is actually coming from this way, but then reflecting off the roof here and illuminating this side of the building. Took me forever to figure out why the shot looked so goddamn cool. Not a portfolio shot though. Don't crap your pants in excitement. I certainly probably won't.
Man, I'm shooting through this Ektachrome the same way the coffee this morning is shooting through me. Great, it's fogging up again. Walked around town, took some shots, almost killed a roll of Ektachrome. It's nice to just be out shooting, you know? Not really worrying about editing video and stuff. I'll have to deal with it when I get home, but it's nice to just shoot some chrome in a beautiful place. Alright, enough corny shit.
While I'm reloading, here's that 36 exposure contact sheet from that roll that I just absolutely blazed through. Unfortunately, yeah, it really suffered from the push and brown filter, so I guess it probably wasn't really my favorite. 15 keepers and maybe 1 portfolio shot. Maybe not.
Good to go.
Treeburg is a very beautiful small town. Less beautiful with me in it for sure, but yeah, this shot is cool. I like it. That afternoon, we packed up the car and headed up into the mountains a little to, I guess, just wander around looking for more glue wine. And yeah, the weather kind of took a turn for the worse. Or for the better if you're like me and like to eat snow. We even found a restaurant in the middle of kind of nowhere with no one in it, and made friends with the server who definitely hooked it up for us.
Wow, she just went straight for it.
There was a ski lift that we passed earlier that day that was looking very photogenic, but we didn't stop to shoot it. And, you know, my photography regret was really starting to boil over as tensions in the car were heating up.
What do you bring to any conversation?
The f you say, bitch? You hear the way he talks to me, Mom?
That morning, jet lag had us up early, so we went to grab coffee, but maybe it was all gonna be okay because I was able to grab some moody blue hour shots of the town that I think turned out pretty good. Which was kind of a perfect way to say, you know, goodbye to Treeburg, because we all hopped in the car and headed west. But still haunting my photo psyche was the lost ski lift picture from yesterday, so I begged and cried so much for my family to stop off at it so I could take a picture. After they said no, I caved and Venmo'd them $100 each, and they reluctantly agreed. And boy howdy was it worth it. This shot is good. I like it. The colors work really well. These accents of red and I guess this fall off of dark underexposed forest behind it, dare I say portfolio shot. There's some other stuff around this location too that turned out pretty good. This shot isn't black and white, it's actually color, so that's totally crazy. You know, you might think if you don't have much going on in your life. That was a wrap on another roll, probably my best roll yet. Of the 36 exposures, I got 18 keepers and maybe 4 portfolio shots. I don't really get to shoot snow very often, so that might be influencing my decisions a little. We headed down from the mountains a little bit and visited a waterfall real quick before we then headed into the city of Kell on the German side of the river from France and the city of Strasbourg.
With water, that's bad luck.
That night, though I don't have the footage to back it up, Matt and I went out to get totally sloshed, which inevitably ended in us getting midnight kebabs. Anyway, after we ourselves, we woke up the next morning with cleansed systems and ready for the day ahead in Strasbourg. Our first stop was the cathedral and adjoining Christmas markets that surrounded it, and yeah, it was definitely French as f***, you know, baguettes, cheese, and alcohol everywhere. It was heaven on earth for, I don't know, people who like picnics. The shot I like a lot. It's layered and there's a sense of movement in the photo. The colors are nice too, no complaints, and I usually have something to complain about. I did stand here and take a picture of these two straight up, you know, going at it in the street, which made me feel weird to be shooting it. I mean, I didn't get up in the splash zone or anything like this guy, but yeah, it was too good to pass up. Though I do wish I got the quarter angle a little bit better, as the silhouette on them is kind of hard to read.
What the hell?
That was that for the previous roll of chrome. Time for another one. Of the 36 exposure roll, I got maybe 17 keepers and like 3 portfolio shots, possibly. The next morning it was time to get moving north to Cologne, with a few stops in between, but we kind of ran into an issue within the first 10 minutes of being on the Autobahn. There was some sort of accident up ahead that basically turned the Autobahn into a parking lot for like an hour or so, which meant that I'd be forced to get to know my mom and brother in the car.
Away from the highway, good plan.
Wish we were doing the same.
Anyway, like a clogged toilet, it eventually cleared and we were on our way to the Rhine River to see some castles. With the unstoppable slow march of time pressing on in an indifferent universe, at least we were a little bit excited to visit one more castle before the day ends. And the light was pretty dim, not in an existential way, just physically. The area was low light. I knew I'd have to squeeze every last drop of f-stop out of my gear.
Oh my God.
The photos of the castle, I don't know, they ate. If there was like sunlight hitting it to get more definition on it, that would have been superb. But I guess kind of by that same thought, the shots would have also been superb if someone was riding down the castle roofs on a flaming dirt bike. Sometimes you just gotta work with what's there.
Yeah. Whew. A lot of work. Uphill. All right.
Back in town for gas, I shot this moody night shot of a building that I think is okay. There was a nearby fence post I had to rest the M6 on to get it while people were definitely staring at me. I think it was like a 3-second exposure, something like that. Reciprocity be damned, Ektachrome's never heard of you. I really do wish this car did not pull into frame at the last second. I could have shot doubles, I suppose, but it's Ektachrome, so that would have been financially irresponsible. Anyway, we continued on to Cologne, knowing it was our last evening with the car as we had to return it that night. So we took one final ass fart, which means exit in German, and dropped the car off.
Thanks, buddy. Hola. It's been a minute. My bad. Today we're here in Cologne, Germany. Just gonna have a day going to see the cathedral and the Christmas markets and shoot some stuff. I don't know. I don't really know what's on the plan. I do know that there's an Irish pub nearby. Pretty exhausted. Not gonna lie to you. My bed at home sounds pretty good right now.
Anyway, like an ancient sea merchant who just sailed into port, I decided to check out the local wares and was somehow magnetically drawn to the camera shops. After totally giving up because I couldn't find a sweet 90% off deal on a Leica M6, I decided to drown my sorrows once again in glue wine. Which doesn't taste like glue at all. This photo is almost good. I saw it coming from a mile away. I had time to prepare, so I closed down as much as I could and kind of just guessed focus, which I got wrong. Oh well, if sharpness truly mattered, Bresson wouldn't be a name and this photo wouldn't be famous. Yeah, I don't know. It probably still would be. And just like how I had the best chai latte of my life in Wetzlar, sadly, I had the f***ing nastiest chai latte of my life here in Cologne. It truly just wasn't my day, and perhaps I needed some spiritual guidance. After somehow not spontaneously igniting in flames as I walked through the cathedral doors, I started to feel like things were turning around for me. I mean, I literally turned around to walk out of there eventually, but I meant more like my attitude. Which led me to this shot. Nice colors, not a great photo by any stretch, but something a little different and something to get me out of my funk.
Cheers. Shut the f*** up.
The next day we were off to Amsterdam, the city of dreams, and tons of fun illicit substances. We had a few trains to catch, and just as well, I had a few train station bangers to catch. Okay, they aren't bangers, mostly just pictures of pigeons, but whatever.
Heute 10:44 Uhr. Ausstieg links.
That was RIP for another roll of Ektachrome, and I just decided to jam it unceremoniously in my backpack, like a half-eaten loose egg sandwich. Of the 36 exposure roll, I got 17 keepers and like maybe one portfolio shot if I can get past the fact that it's slightly out of focus. We made it to Amsterdam, and it was super cool because it was during the Festival of Lights. So the whole city was decked out in these beautiful displays that probably have the local electric companies sleeping on a pile of cash every night. With no time to waste, my mom and I hoofed it out to the Rijksmuseum to see some Rembrandts and which would hopefully make me a little bit more cultured and less of a degenerate, because I surely needed it. It was there that I shot this, which is wonderful. There isn't much color other than, brown, but I'm good with that, actually. Most of the paintings that I saw that evening actually didn't have much color that popped out at you, whether that's from aging or lack of material available at the time. And I remember thinking to myself, after looking at those paintings, maybe there doesn't really need to be an obvious reason to shoot color. It can just be a muddy overwash, and that's fine sometimes. With the outside light growing fainter, I popped the brown filter off my lens to see what the raw Ektachrome can do with the, continued two-stop push. Happy to report, it isn't DiGiorno. It delivers. I like this shot. It wasn't taken in the red light district. Trust me, you're unreliable narrator. It's just a red light, but whatever. Compositionally and color-wise, it works. That night was December 13th, so we stayed up till midnight fighting the good fight against jet lag through the power of alcohol, because it was my mom's 30th at midnight. Anyway, in an unprompted move that they begged me not to do, I drank 70 Guinnesses to celebrate for her, and then my brother started hitting on me after literally his first sip, so we had to cut him off.
What are you doing later?
Anyway, we had a couple days in Amsterdam and got up to various things. Interpret that however you want. I was most interested in what I call the Red Dot District. This store was super cool, but they didn't stock Ektachrome, sadly. And this store was also very cool, and they did stock Ektachrome, but it was 35 euros a roll, and well, daddy ain't gonna do that. At Dam Square, I shot this, and I like it. I want to strive to be as happy as this lady surrounded by, pigeons, but maybe with less bird everywhere. This shot is nice. I took it while I was waiting for the tram, and uh-oh, who's that in the reflection? Is it a prolific serial killer at large, or Jason the photographer? It can be two things. That was a Rapski on the 36 exposure roll of chrome, of which I got 8 portfolio shots, and they're like damn good portfolio shots too.
Whew. Okay. It's just me. Oh, let's change the frame here. Ooh, that's not a good frame. The toilet's right there. Just me here in Amsterdam now. My mom and my brother caught a earlier flight. They woke up very early and said adios. My flight's not till later. It's kind of the beginning of it's gonna be like a marathon. Catch a train to the airport, catch a flight to New York, and then catch another flight to LA, ride the motorcycle back, and I'll be home for like maybe like 16 hours in total. And then we, hop in a rental car and do a cross-country drive. A little bit insane. Looking forward to seeing Baxter in my little pork chop. Like at the end of a long day when you like lay down in your bed and it's immediately comfortable and because it's like yours, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it just feels peaceful and you're at home. I'm looking forward to that. Though now that I think about it, I think, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to sleep in between. So, got Monica 2 presents. I got her a thing of, it's like garlic and pesto flavored cheese. It's literally green cheese. It looks awesome. Women love it when you give them cheese. I think I shot like 8 rolls or something like that. I shot an insane amount. Yeah. I gotta get to the airport. I wonder how getting a hand check on film is gonna be at a Dutch airport. Probably pretty easy. The people here are incredibly nice. Hey, 18 hours later, and I'm here, made it to LA. There was some weird turbulence. We hit like a wall of turbulence somewhere over like the coast of Maine. It was like 2 hours of just like smooth sailing, cruising, and then bam, it almost sounded like an impact noise, and the plane kind of just like lunged, it lurched and dropped. I mean, it woke everybody up for sure. Definitely woke my ass up. And then like a second later, the pilot came on and was like, everybody, please buckle up. And then it never happened again. I honestly thought one of the engines blew out. It's good to be home. Well, not home yet, though LAX is starting to feel like a second home. Time to lock in. It's time to go EBDB mode. I thought I had more time to get a bunch of work done before I leave. I mean, the story just revolves around me being a dumbass. I thought this flight into LA got in at noon. Not literally midnight. I'm fine. My body thinks it's 9 a.m. But yeah, I'm not gonna have a ton of time. I am not gonna sleep tonight. I actually have to go home and go straight into scanning some rolls that I got back while I was gone, put them in the video, chop the video together, and then I just have to do laundry and pack and rent a car. Don't really love Red Bull, especially when it's room temperature. Or I guess parking garage temperature. And I know my mom and my brother landed safely. I still haven't really decided what camera I'm gonna bring on this road trip. Kind of just had 18 hours to think about it, and I didn't. The hand check went fine in Amsterdam. I had to do it again in New York. The guy in Amsterdam told me to just get a lead line bag, because I've heard that they turn up the X-rays, the X-ray power or something, when they can't see through an object. So if you have a lead line bag they can't see through, they're just gonna jam that thing up and X-rays are still gonna get through. I don't know, that might be an urban legend, but I still think it's just safer to do the hand check. I should probably stop f***ing around and get home. Do the 5 S's. Shit, shower, shave, stomp, and I'm not gonna say the last one. All right. Bulk World Ektachrome. My camera surely will not starve. The last video of the year. It is 6 a.m. 5 till. I guess I should start packing. Alrighty, got the rental car. Gonna leave probably in about an hour or so. Head to Flagstaff tonight, and that'll be day one. It's about 7 hours. Won't be too bad. Got Baxter to keep us entertained, I suppose. Baxter, you ready to go? Every time I turn on the camera, he stops staring at me and leaves. I'm telling you, he just stares. I don't have to fly, so figured might as well just load this thing up now.
So yeah, for this road trip across the US, I decided to bring my semi-newly acquired Nikon FM3A and my 50mm f1.2 and my 20 to 35 2.8 zoom lens. At that point, I hadn't seen how up my Ektachrome from Europe was yet, so I just somehow made the enlightened decision to go back to old reliable, which is of course, don't do anything fancy, just do as Kodak says and shoot it at 100.
Frame one, boom. Automatic exposure. Not horsing around.
Anyway, me running on no sleep, we packed up all of our and Baxter in the Rogue and set off towards DC to see Monica's family for the holidays. After escaping LA with minimal hit damage, we stopped at In-N-Out for one last meal before the chair. You know, like the car seat that would soon take us out of In-N-Out territory. Okay, that joke is a stretch for sure, but whatever. This video is long as You're just gonna have to be happy with whatever stupid quips I come up with.
Yay.
How are you?
Good, how
Hi,
you doing?
good.
Neapolitans?
Thank you so much.
Do you want to catch up?
No, thank you.
No.
Anyway, Baxter was over the moon that we stopped at his favorite restaurant because he has the stomach of some being much, much larger than himself, like a hippopotamus. Whatever. With Baxter Dutch ovening the rental beyond return, a thing that I know a lot about now because I was just in the Netherlands, the sun was setting and the light was beautiful out there in the desert, but Monica thought true beauty lied elsewhere, I guess.
Banana.
The first half of this road trip would be a total sprint across country to not miss any of the family traditions. It wasn't very photography focused, to be honest with you. That would come on the back half, the return journey. But that isn't to say that I wouldn't, withdraw the FM3A on a few occasions to pound out some celluloid.
It's Monica's turn to drive. I did 4 hours. A little over 4 hours. Needles, California. That's a pretty bad name for a city. Like, what do you think people do for fun in this town? Oh man, I am so jet lagged. Monica's got it from here. Staying at a Motel 6 just off the highway in Flagstaff.
with us pulling up to a literal crime scene at the motel and ignoring all the red flags before us. We decided to stay there anyway, only to be woken up to the cops yet again being called sometime around like 3 a.m.
Dinner! Oh, goodness gracious. Well, the boy certainly hasn't lost his appetite. Has to pass the Baxter inspection. Otherwise, we cannot stay here. Did nothing all day. Well, that's kind of normal for him, huh? It's freezing. Oh, Nana.
It was time to continue our voyage east, hopefully that day getting as far as Oklahoma City, which was something like 65 million hours of driving, which only one of us got to sleep through the whole time.
Made it to Albuquerque. I'm eating a gas station lunch bowl, and there's security and police everywhere, so I don't know what the hell goes on here. Next stop is Amarillo, that's how you say it, in Texas. And then Oklahoma City. I think I've taken 2 photos so far. I've spent a lot of time on I-40. I wouldn't say it's the most photogenic, but
Yeah, when I said there isn't much on I-40 through New Mexico, well, yeah, Texas doubled down on that. There literally ain't shit on I-40 through what Monica calls the nub.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
You are now in leaving New Mexico.
Yoo-hoo! Made it to Texas.
Yeah, the Panhandle, it ain't really got much except, you know, windy plains, garbled frequencies, gas stations, and, you know, the occasional explosive sunset in Amarillo that makes you grab your Nikon instantly. I mean, yeah, the Ektachrome just ate that shit up. These look fantastic. Maybe amongst the best gas station photos I've ever shot. And I've taken thousands at this point. After all, why not take pictures of gas stations? They're a vibe. You can almost smell these photos. Edward Hopper painted gas stations, and I'll do anything Edward Hopper did, almost to a T, because I have no original thoughts, and I'm very lucky that I never got indoctrinated into a cult. Anyway, the toilets were flooded there because someone tried to flush a boot-sized turd, so we filled up and just kept going for another 4 more hours through darkness. Like, advanced darkness. There really wasn't much of anything out there. We saw too many moving things up in the night sky, airplanes, satellites, UFOs, and a vertical green flash, which was a meteorite burning up in the atmosphere. We eventually made it to a hotel in OKC for the night, and yeah, this time there wasn't an active crime scene investigation happening outside.
Damn, this is quite the level up from last night.
next morning it was time to down some hotel breakfast slop and do the don't shit your pants challenge with God mode enabled when you're out in the middle of nowhere on a road trip.
You want a little bit of bacon? Here you go. Got a long day ahead of us. Another 10 hours to Nashville. But first we're gonna stop at Pop's Route 66, which is like this soda shop. It's only 20 minutes away from where we are now, which is Oklahoma City. Go there first, and then just hit the highway to straight to Nashville off of Route 66. Finally, almost there, almost to DC. Can I help you? What? You're so goddamn cute. That'd be a cool photo, but I don't have my camera on me and I'm walking Baxter. Oh well. Alright, let's start the car and get it warmed up in here. My back's.
Oh, this is sick. First time with it. What do you call this?
Dad cam.
Dad cam? Cute. Oh, butter soda? Spaghetti? Teriyaki. Oh no. Oh, teriyaki soda? That's disgusting.
Beef jerky soda.
Buffalo wing. Okay, that one I don't hate. Is that one? Yeah.
Pickle flavored? Oh, that's gonna be so gross. Grandpa Joe's. Oh, dude, that is so gross. Hot dog water.
Hell yeah. Hi, sweetheart. I'm not getting you out. You are not.
Yeah, you think that's funny?
So we're in Oklahoma. What just happened?
Got pulled over for going 76 in a 70 in a passing lane, passing a truck. He was nice. He let us go. Oh, from California. You're far from home. No shit, dog.
After getting pulled over for 6 over the speed limit, there was nowhere to go but up or east.
Got a new banana.
I guess I'm just lucky that the officer didn't see all the ripped off mattress tags that I had in the back seat.
It's Baxter's first time in Arkansas. Look how excited he is.
Anyway, the light was starting to look good, and I couldn't help myself. I had to shoot something.
The lighting is so nice. But there's nothing to shoot.
Being in the middle of bump nowhere, Tennessee, we just pulled off to get gas, and whatever was there, and it wasn't much. I mean, this shot is cool. There's something about it that's like striking a mood. I also shot this, which kind of hurts to look at because you can't really even tell what it is. There was no light, so I had to be wide open at 1.2, and that isn't really a sharp aperture for the 50, so everything is pretty smeary. Anyway, with hundreds, maybe even thousands of kilometers till Nashville, because I have no idea how long a kilometer is and I forgot to ask a European while I was over there, we noticed that there was about 2 hours of traffic piling up ahead of us due to a truck tipping over. So we chose to divert to some backcountry roads.
Things got very Blair Witchy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Whatever. Nashville was totally beautiful at night, and we were all pretty exhausted. But that certainly didn't stop us from getting some Tennessee barbecue. And desserts, so that I could continue putting on so much holiday weight that I get mistakenly identified as a boulder by some geologist somewhere.
To think you were once a street rat, huh? Yeah.
Baxter.
You're such a ham.
So this is a butthole, right?
Oh, 100%.
Enough admiring art. It was time to set forth on our last day of driving to DC. Today was the day we'd be arriving.
Baxter, we found your road.
We ended up taking some more back roads to avoid some serious traffic again. Don't know what's going on with the highways in Tennessee.
Yeah, the I-40 in Tennessee has not been kind to us.
But whatever. The new route allowed us to stumble upon an interesting location.
Finish the roll, but it sounds like it might have been slipping. Not a lot of tension. Oh, no, we're good.
All right. Goodbye, motorcycle products.
So as you can see by this, faux contact sheet, shooting with the same heavy brown filter, but at base ISO instead, resulted in a much more pleasant image with better color density. There was still some back and forth on the white balance sliders, of course, but otherwise I think it's a great look. But I guess it wasn't great enough of a look to save the roll. Because of that 36 exposure bulk roll of Ektachrome, I got like 8 keepers and maybe 1 or 2 portfolio shots. My previous roll in Amsterdam was hit after hit, so it kind of seemed like I was back to square one with my photography.
Virginia! Woo! Oh no, he doesn't care.
Through some traffic, snow, and of course shotgunning tons of Red Bulls, we crushed out a bunch of miles.
I didn't say I wanted you to die. I just said if you got an infection, just let it run its course. And if you die, then you die.
No, I asked if should we name the infection. You said no, it's not gonna last long.
Yeah, that could mean anything.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Well, there it is, the final stop.
You want your dinner? You want your low-calorie chicken kibbles? I like how they're low-calorie, and we've been giving him French fries this whole trip. We are somewhere in Virginia. Let's pop in a new roll. Another roll of, you guessed it, Ektachrome. There we go. Final stretch, Monica.
Final stretch.
No more complaining.
Admittedly, the last hour or so was the hardest of the whole drive out east. I was just fatigued from days on end of the road. It being nighttime too and unable to see any landmarks also felt like we were making zero progress.
We are about an hour 30 away from Monica's parents' place. But there's always got to be one more slowdown, right?
The final chapter.
On a cross-country road trip, it can't just be easy.
What was that noise you just made?
Obviously, eventually we arrived at Monica's parents' place, and it was super easy to sleep that night knowing that, we wouldn't have to be in the car for hours on end tomorrow. Now that I've crossed the US on both motorcycle and car, I am at a loss of what to do next. Maybe jet ski. I certainly had time to figure it out. The next few days would be a bit of a slower pace. The next morning was our first relaxing morning in a while, and we used that extra time to teach Baxter how to master the stairs. Mostly.
Really? You recording this?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Baxter, now on the other side of the US, didn't know what to do with himself in the couple of days that we had there in Virginia. But between begging for food, hunting squirrels, and sleeping, okay, mostly sleeping, he settled in all right, and so did we as Christmas approached.
Okay, let's go to another $20 gift. Oh, these are for me, not the kid.
I gave Monica one of her gifts,
Oh my god.
and we even went to go throw some axes with her family too. And gosh dang it, was I a natural Paul Bunyan.
That's what it's been like this whole time. Hasn't...
You liar.
Afterwards, of course, Monica made a turd loaf.
This looks like swamp mud.
No cookies for you. Jason is currently on his 14th cookie. He loves these cookies. Hi.
And then we tried a few of those crazy, nasty sodas together, collectively wanting to puke in our own mouths, probably.
For our dinner tonight, Alex has chosen spaghetti.
Oh my gosh.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Cow.
It's not great.
Yes, it's
Play-Doh.
We're doing buffalo wing soda.
Oh my god.
Now we're talking.
Buffalo wings. It has that like kind of taste, but it's not. Shockingly, it's not good.
It tastes like somebody who ate buffalo wings sneezed into a glass of water.
Cheers.
Cheers, down the hatch.
It's so spicy. Why is it so spicy?
With the big day fast approaching, we hopped in the rental and collectively drove up to Wildwood, New Jersey to congregate with another half of Monica's family. It was about a 4-hour commute, which all things considered would be peanuts for us. Well, one of us in particular, because he didn't pitch in at all.
Baxter, you're in Delaware. Oh, you really don't care.
And of course, we had to stop off at a Wawa to see what all the hype was about, which honestly, I still don't get. It's just like a nicer gas mart with a Subway sandwich built into it. I don't know, man. Times are changing. Things are so complicated nowadays.
It's f***ing cold as shit out here.
Wildwood itself is your, classic beach town, popping off in the summer for sure, but that is a ghost town in December. Anyway, after making Monica carry all my baggage upstairs, of course my economical baggage, we settled in and began teaching Baxter how to master the stairs again, which he was so brave and definitely not afraid of. After some light shenanigans for a couple of days and a round of Catan so brutal that I'll probably have to go to therapy now, I felt the pull of photography calling to me once again. We had a free afternoon the next day, so I grabbed the FM3A and walked around town for a bit at magic hour, hoping to see another living soul, or I guess just nab some work that would make my family proud. Hey, there's a first time for everything, right?
A little fun fact for you. One time I saw a little firework missile on the 4th of July fly over here and hit this building. Nothing happened, but it looked kind of crazy.
Wow, a little surreal. There's nobody on the beach right now. Literally nobody around, actually. You can see all the way down to the pier. I don't think we've had conditions this good, even in the summer. I hope the sun comes out. I'm gonna wander down there. It is freezing ass cold. That's probably why there's no one here.
Honestly though, it was so dead out there. It felt like the closest I would ever get to wandering around like a zombie apocalypse. Everything was closed. Some places boarded up, streets empty. It was eerie for sure. You kind of had to watch your back. Never know what kind of shady figures were lurking around the corner.
It's not looking too good for us with this lighting. There's a huge cloud the sun went behind. I don't know why I'm using a polarizer. It's not really doing anything except cutting a bunch of light.
The innards of your mind are an enigma.
It is me again. Today's Christmas Eve. Missing my family a little bit. My mom, my brother, but having a great time over here as well. But, you know, nonetheless, thinking of them constantly. Probably just gonna wrap up shooting here, head back, and eat a bunch of food and gain 40 pounds. That's what Christmas is all about, right? Still looking forward to, you know, laying my head down on my own bed. It's been a lot of travel and a lot of go. So it's been relaxing being here. We drove up yesterday, but yeah, I think my body's still just in this state of like, you know, traveling and exhausted and so on and so forth. It looks like the sunlight might come out here in a sec, so let's prepare for it.
That was the end of the roll. Some good stuff on it, for sure. Of the 36 shots, I got 14 keepers and, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 portfolio shots. If I were playing beer pong, this would be the part where I beat my chest and scream the words, "Heating up."
Ektachrome E100, 100 ISO, freezing cold, no light. I don't know.
The next day was the one, you know, the one where you celebrate a giant fat guy breaking into your house. Or yeah, just Wednesday for everyone else. It was also time for Baxter to stop being a Grinch and enjoy the festivities too, which he hated every second of.
Gooey butt cake.
It's getting gooey. It's getting real gooey.
Hey Mom, Merry Christmas. Oh, just having a slow morning, eating gooey butter cake and drinking coffee.
That evening was the annual get-together of the entire family, featuring a ton of homemade Italian food that had me slapping my knee in pain after every bite. I elected to try something new that night, being nice, but also throwing the flash on the FM3A and popping off some candid holiday photos on Ektachrome. And the occasional blue hour moody shot at like 1/8 of a second because 100 ISO sucks. Anyway, after blinding everyone with the flash at full power because, again, 100 ISO sucks, I was able to walk away with some nice flash photography shots on film.
All right, back from the holiday party. Real quick, just to walk the piglet. I have finished a roll, so let's put another one in. Frame 1. All right, I'm gonna go get drunk.
Of the previous 36 exposure roll, I got 20 or so keepers and, I don't know, maybe 1 portfolio shot. Most of the roll was, you know, candid dinner party shots, not really for the portfolio. The next day, we had no time to waste, though, of course, Baxter was on his own schedule, as per usual for any high-profile celebrity. So we hopped in the car and headed back to Virginia for a few days. But first, there was this location that I'd driven by a few times in the years prior that I always wanted to shoot, and today was the day I finally do.
In there.
The lighting was good, you know, that quarter angle. But honestly, there wasn't really a ton of color to extract from this location. Still, I feel like it tells an effective story, so I'm happy enough with them.
Welcome to traffic. Am I right? Got him good.
Making more poo.
Hell yeah. It's the finest poo-poo in the land.
It was soon somehow time for another roll of Ektachrome. I think most of the roll went towards holiday party photos and, you know, the flash not firing sometimes, which is totally rad. I love it when that happens. 7 keepers, 1 portfolio shot. You wanna come down, Bax? With some time to burn off, we took Baxter for a walk and I brought my FM3A with me. I didn't really feel like there was much to shoot in the area, but you know, the winter light wasn't really half bad. It gave me the perfect excuse to try that Edward Hopper technique, you know, the sunlight hitting the sides of houses at a quarter angle. While the photos are, you know, certainly photos, I don't think they're particularly interesting. They do a good job of capturing a piece of American suburbia, but I don't know where to place that amongst the rest of my work. And yeah, of course, best of all, Monica was wearing her Christmas present, which is based on a true story of hers, by the way.
Okay, what's up? I'm here with the party pup. It's been a couple days since we checked in. Haven't been up to much. It's sort of that time between Christmas and New Year's. I think they call it Taintmas. Today is New Year's Eve. We're gonna head into DC, go see Nosferatu at 7. Tomorrow we leave for, where are we heading? We're gonna do DC to Chattanooga tomorrow morning. And that'll kind of be the start of our return voyage. I'm excited to shoot. We're gonna be passing through Texas. This camera's pretty heavy. I'll update you tomorrow, probably.
The next day was the day that we'd been dreading. Time to leave and confine ourselves to the car seat again. But I was a little excited because we're gonna take it slower on the route back. No more bombing 76 and a 70. But luckily what that also meant was more photography for me. Yeah, goodbyes are always hard, but sometimes necessary, as we were pretty far from home.
Well, we didn't get very far.
Nope.
We need gas.
Okay.
Which side is the gas tank on?
Mine.
Yeah,
It's on mine. Look at those prices. We ain't in California, baby. That's Virginia prices.
So Nosferatu was good. The first hour was like
Really good.
really goddamn good.
Agreed.
Incredible. I wish they carried it through the rest of the movie, but yeah.
The mustache also was a choice. How's your pizza? Doesn't look too bad.
It's alright. It's gas station 7-Eleven pizza, so
Hell yeah.
I really hope I don't crap my pants.
The hot dog lady was so nice.
To you? Why?
Yeah. Snurr.
After driving a route that was literally the definition of uneventful, 200 hours later we made it to Chattanooga for the night.
Oh, sweet pineapple for the night.
And immediately found the closest Taco Bell for no reason at all other than to punish ourselves.
And before you judge us, we tried like
12.
12 different restaurants in this little junction, and none of them would take dogs. Just like at home. Baxter disrespecting me by taking my spot.
Good boy.
Up a little bit early this morning to get our asses down to Shreveport, Louisiana, I believe is where we're aiming for. Looks like it's gonna be a nice day, actually. So maybe we'll get a sunset. I mean, we did stop at around like 5:30 yesterday, and the sun had like 10 minutes prior just like moved behind this like cloud on the horizon. I think I took like 2 photos. We'll see if either of them turn out. I don't really know what to expect in Shreveport, but we are going through like 4 states to get there. All right, let's get some hotel breakfast and GTFO the f out of here.
All right, it's 9:55 and we are now in Georgia. Yeah. And Central Time Zone.
All right.
It is 10:12.
All right, Baxter, this is your exit.
Okay, bud.
Barely been on his bed.
With the itch returning, and also the photo itch I was talking about earlier, we stopped in a small town somewhere in some state. I don't know, I couldn't keep track. Regardless, there was some good stuff here to shoot, and the sun was shining. I couldn't really ask for more. The stage was all set for some good work, so I violently launched myself from the car and went to shoot with my trusty FM3A. The photos? Good. Especially this one, where the old Coke machine was lit up like some Nuka-Cola machine in a bombed out Fallout building.
Interesting little town. It's definitely something living or moving in there.
For real.
Yeah.
With the sun dipping down en route to Shreveport, we pulled off at one last location before calling it for the evening to hopefully catch the last bit of sunset light.
There's always a train when you're 2 minutes away from your location. And the light is like barely there. I don't think we're gonna get it. I can jump it
Yeah, probably.
in between one of the gaps.
Oh, this one.
I still ended up getting the shot off. And you know what?
Okay.
Though I was originally kind of disappointed we didn't catch the light directly hitting the building, I am happy with how the shot turned out anyway. And that was my last shot of the 36 exposure roll, 16 keepers and 1, maybe 2 portfolio shots if I'm desperate, which I usually am. All we did know in that moment was that it was time to get our asses to Shreveport and get some real southern food to pig out on. Unfortunately, things got f***ed. Someone in a car, 2 cars ahead of us, got into an accident, and 1 or maybe 2 of the cars got flipped. It was pretty serious stuff, but thankfully everyone was okay.
I guess a car got rolled over.
1.9 miles away from the hotel.
important update. It looks like we're the last ones. They cleared out all the traffic behind us, behind the row of 10 cars. We just happen to be at the front.
Literally
So
the front.
We gotta wait for the tow truck to get in there, and then they're gonna get us out. At least we have picture of monkey.
Did we get first floor?
Yeah.
Yes!
It was actually kind of funny. The guy, he heard me come in and like scrambled over to the counter.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, whoa, what just happened? And I could see in the back room he's playing Skyrim.
Found a shot that you kind of just have to take, you know what I mean? I need flash for it though, for sure. And I might need to do some calculations, but I can do it, maybe.
At the room, we were right across from the dumpster, which was fitting because I tried shooting this balloon with the flash and the shot was hot garbage. We actually really ended up liking Shreveport for the, 9 hours total that we were there, 2 hours of which we were awake and 1 of which we were sober.
Okay. This is gator sausage. It's really good.
Being in Louisiana, we had to get our horngry selves, that is, so hungry that you're horny for food, to some southern grub, which was the right call. Among the alligator sausage and pickleback shots, I ordered a king cake cheesecake, and I shit you not, it's the best piece of dessert I've ever had in my life. That first bite killed me, and I wish I didn't come back to life because nothing will ever live up to it again. It was diabetic perfection.
Monica has pointed out these pillows are incredibly small. I don't know if I can get a good sense of scale.
Anyway, the next morning it was time to make things right in a world of, bare minimum rock bottom hotel breakfasts. So I grabbed my FM3A and Ektachrome and banged out another shot of the dumpster with the balloon in it, this time in daylight, and it's a lot better.
I would come back here again for sure.
Yeah, I would.
As we made our way west, we decided to take the back roads for a little bit to catch the geographical 3-state convergence point between Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas, which I didn't even realize was a thing.
Oh my f***ing god, that scared the shit out of me.
It's a train.
As a bonus, between the trains and bayous out there, we found some old buildings and photogenic scenery tucked away from plain sight. This was a cool location, and this shot is baller. Good depth and composition. There wasn't much color to shoot, so it's a little bland in that department, but like I said before, I'm starting to understand that isn't necessarily a deal breaker.
He's so excited.
He's so excited to piss in 3 states.
I was pretty excited. One of my bucket list items was to visit Paris, Texas and shoot the downtown area. How did it become a bucket list item when I haven't even seen the movie? Couldn't tell you. Just always seemed like a place I needed to shoot.
Pity. Texas.
Finally set loose on the streets of Paris, I found inspiration around just about every corner. The light was just hitting that day, and the old brick architecture and Americana of the past was definitely a vibe of its own. Like my abs will be whenever I finally get around to my New Year's resolution. This photo is rock solid. It tells a story, the colors are good, and the lighting is on point. Honestly, I don't know why everyone doesn't shoot Ektachrome. Oh, yeah, that's why. Anyway, I ate that roll up in like 2 seconds flat, and it was time for another. Of the 36 shots, I got 11 keepers in 2, 3, or 4 portfolio shots. I don't know. There's good stuff in there somewhere. The shot might actually be my best from Paris. I mean, holy hell, I got lucky. I was framing the shot up, and at the last minute, a dude on a bike cruised into frame. And when that happens, you just got to keep a hot trigger finger on your camera. It helps to also have, you know, automatic settings on your camera, making the calculations for you. Paris was totally wonderful. Even if this mini Eiffel Tower disproves the everything is bigger in Texas thing. The locals were so nice, and Monica and I loved it there, but we had to hit the road. We still had many more miles to cover to get to Austin, our end goal for the day. Though after getting lost somewhere in the back roads of Texas because we were just hypnotized by truck nuts, and frankly just kind of had to see where this guy was going. It was the most interesting thing that happened that day. We kind of just figured we'd get to Austin eventually whenever the truck nuts choose to release us from their dangle. Just in time for sunset, I needed a new roll of chrome, and of the 36 exposure roll, I got 16 keepers and, yeah, I don't know, at least 1 portfolio shot. Alright, well, we made it to Austin. But before food, I had to shoot the bathroom. It's just not really much of a choice as a photographer, especially one with a weird toilet obsession. You just have to shoot a beautiful when it's presented to you. So I threw on the 20-35 and the flash unit because it's Ektachrome, and, well, say it again with me now. But, emphasis on but, we weren't there to hang out in the bathroom all evening. We were in Austin. It was time for Tex-Mex, which, to be honest, I don't fully understand the hype. It's cute, I guess. The margaritas were good. Our second ones were much stronger after we told the server we'd been on the road for 8 hours, so that was much appreciated. Anyway, after dining and dashing, Baxter was pooped, and we called it a night.
It's nice not being in the car today. We were in the car for maybe like 9 hours yesterday total. I like woke up yesterday morning like another day of driving, you know. 3 9-hour days will kind of do that to you. Still pretty excited about a good night's sleep in my own bed, you know what I mean? This place hasn't been too bad though.
Since this video is long as already, let's do a short tutorial. How to make a Granny Days video. Start with some banging lo-fi music, something you'd hear in an elevator or like maybe the dentist would do. Studies have shown that literally no other music will work. It has to be lo-fi. Then head into town and grab some film. The more expensive the better. It makes people roll their eyes when you inevitably it up. Grab a film camera that's probably way too expensive for what it is. This FM3A will do. Find a location that you won't want to take a single photo at. This botanical garden is perfect. Do something dangerous with your camera. And then finally, say something mean about your super sweet dog to win your audience over. My dog Baxter has the appetite of 1,000 full-grown gorillas. And of course the piece de la resistance. Subscribe down below.
Your son tried to drink the water.
That's disgusting, Baxter.
Austin wasn't really my favorite city, to be honest. Too much hustle and bustle. It felt very LA, except, you know, slightly Texas in some of the best ways. Barbecue being an honorable mention.
Baxter, do you want more?
With not enough heart disease acquired for the night, we decided to try some butter soda, a moment that I had been dreading since I learned of its very existence.
Yeah, butter soda. It looks pretty f***ing gross.
It's not that bad. It doesn't taste like anything to me.
It tastes like concentrated mayonnaise or something.
Come on, you little kibble mongrel.
The next day was adios to Austin, but we had unfinished business in the region. It was time to visit a great monument, perhaps one of the greatest. Europe has cathedrals and ancient battlegrounds, but what does America have? A giant hole in the ground? Some statue? Boring. However, not all is lost. America does have perhaps the greatest feat of engineering in the world, the biggest gas station on the planet.
We are now making our approach. It was worth the pilgrimage.
Gas
Oh my
station.
god. It
Gas
just goes on
stations.
forever. Alright, let's gas up.
Buc-ee's is basically Disneyland for people who, I don't know, like gas. It's the biggest. Come on by and fill up your biggest tank. Hope you brought a big appetite. Have a big plate of gas station barbecue that some people somewhere have called food, and then take the biggest shit ever in one of their many store-wide toilets that have probably seen much worse than you. You can have this experience and much more at Giant Buc-ee's.
Beaver hat.
Nice.
Beaver pin. Also got beaver nuggets.
Anyway, we had acreage to cover, headed west to El Paso, but first, obviously, it was Marfin time. En route to Marfa, Texas, we were kind of racing against the light. There was a ton of cool stuff to see actually, but our eyes were kind of focused on the prize. Regardless, I still quick drawed from the passenger seat, and most of the shots I took were motion blurry, except for one. One magically, perfectly timed shot. Still a little shutter blurry for sure, but I dig it.
What the f*** is that?
Of course, we had to stop by that fake, but also kind of real Prada store out in the middle of nowhere too. But before I could shoot it, I had to reload my Ektachrome. Of the previous 36 exposure roll, I got 13 keepers and 2 portfolio shots. I shot this thing a bunch in several different ways because honestly, I didn't really know how the limited latitude of Ektachrome would respond to, backlighting. Here are my 2 favorite shots, one with natural light and one with flash at the highest power.
You don't face your fears, you ride them. Do I look more like Glenn Powell now?
No, he's more attractive.
Bye, Prada. Maybe next time I'll buy something.
Yeah, such a shame it was closed today, huh?
Yeah.
We're not at McDonald's, we're at Whataburger. Texas staple. Anything you want to confess to the camera?
Thank you.
Look at that thing.
This is a small.
This is a large. Hell yeah. Everything's
America.
bigger. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh.
Anyway, after somehow not dying in our sleep from all the crap we've been consuming on the road lately, it's gonna be another day ghost riding the whip on the lanes as we make our way back to LA. It was gonna be a long haul. Not only were there some locations I wanted to jam out some Ektachrome on, but we had the very reckless idea to make it all the way out to the Grand Canyon that evening to show Baxter the biggest hole he's ever seen in his life. It was gonna be a perfect way to cap out a long road trip.
Finally out of Texas.
Woo!
5 days or whatever.
They gave us a ton of soy sauce. Who is eating that much?
Soy sauce?
This location was some roadside thing I'd seen a few times on I-40, but never stopped to check it out. However, just like my dreams of wrestling the mythical Bigfoot, today was the day I was going to capture the elusive beast. Not well or anything. I mean, I could have done it better. The color doesn't really pop out at you or anything. Whatever, who cares? It's all meaningless. NASA just doubled the probability of some asteroid slamming into Earth, so we're all f***ed anyway, right? Asteroids just don't give a shit about art. As the sun went down, I scrambled for a decent location to shoot with good light, and luckily there were a few, as there always are, somewhere around the corner in the southwest. But first I needed to jam in a new roll of chrome that would probably be my last for the whole trip. Roll number 18 in total. Of the 36 exposure roll, number 17, I got 7 keepers, but no love from the film gods. Okay, maybe 1 portfolio shot. The colors are pretty poppin'. I do love this shot of an old gas station against the red rock backdrop. Hey, that rhymed. Maybe I should change careers and be a rapper. Go ahead and drop my rap name in the comments. I'm sure it'll be mostly offensive. Lastly, we stopped off at a familiar place, Taco Bell. I actually shot this place many years ago when I did the Route 66 thing, but I was dumb and I shot color film with a yellow filter, which will definitely happen to you too someday. It's inevitable, like a bad Disney remake.
Well, we're back here. See if we can do it better this time. Put a new lens on. The 20 to 35. Finally, I'm using it.
I think I did okay here. Nothing newsworthy. This shot is probably my favorite.
Threw the 50 back on. It's just too good.
Anyway, looking like Chunky McConaughey, I hopped in the car and drove even wester towards some fire smoke in Arizona that was covering the horizon, which made for a beautiful, albeit apocalyptic sunset, but kind of made us slowly start to realize that, you know, fire would be a trending topic pretty early on in 2025.
I made it to Arizona. Tomorrow's our last day. Back to LA. Nothing else to report. I hope those sunset photos turn out. Never really know with Ektachrome. Definitely relying on the automatic function of the FM3A quite a bit these days.
The highway out to the Grand Canyon was hauntingly beautiful. There wasn't a car in sight, nor street lamp, a whole terrifying host of stars overhead, and endless road that eventually spit us out into a small town. We settled into the hotel for the night, and, you know, Baxter went from snackster to relaxter in no time at all, as per usual.
She's as grand as she is canyon. I guess that's supposed to be a duck on a rock.
It is a duck on a rock.
Of the final 36 exposure roll, I got 13 keepers and 3 or maybe 4 portfolio shots. Not bad for a guy with low self-esteem.
Adios. Short but sweet. As far as canyons go, yeah, 10 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah, pretty grand.
Maybe the grandest.
Were you sleeping?
Holy shit, are we in California?
It was a very windy drive back through the desert, which was kind of only a sign of what was to come for LA in the weeks ahead. And, you know, as we expected when we actually got back into the city, LA welcomed us back the only way it knew how to.
Home, sweet.
Nothing's changed around here.
No.
I guess we came back on like the windiest day of LA. There's like debris in the streets and everything.
It had certainly been a long road those past few weeks, but it was totally worth it to get to spend so much quality time with Monica and Baxter, even if Baxter thought the whole experience was an inconvenient interruption to his napping schedule. We returned the car in decent shape as the winds kicked up all around LA and the Eaton fire broke out, which would kind of mark the start of a very difficult few weeks on the horizon.
That's so creepy.
It's so windy out that the power in our apartment complex got shut off. We just dropped off the rental. God damn, it looks like we're about to do a seance in here. Well, the power's out.
Okay, that's it. That was a fart. Baxter's going
Baxter's
outside.
sneeze farting again. Baxter's apparently a highly pressurized system, so every time he needs to sneeze, he also farts. Hey, we got power back. Back on the couch. In my spot. Nothing has changed.
Now, this afternoon, the winds appear to be picking back up again. And then
you come back toward Hollywood, so there's no other real way out of Runyon Canyon otherwise.